And welcome to another episode of Question of the Week. This week we have a bunch of different things on the last week's Question of the Week. The way Question of the Weeks are working is I'm asking you a question, you guys can ask me a question. So my question to you is going to be this. How many unique beers do you think you've drank? And that doesn't mean like unique in recipe, but unique beers as in how many different beers have you drank? And two of those different beers, what was your favorite and least favorite? Now, what do we have here? We have Timbo Slice. Does he have a question? My question for you, what style of beer do you think would go best with Thanksgiving dinner? What style of beer would go best with Thanksgiving dinner? I don't know. You got some turkey, you got some mashed potatoes, you got some, you know what, in all honesty, I'd probably just go with, like, a nice pumpkin beer, a nice, and it's cliche, but I would go with, like, a Southern Tier Pumpkin, or a Great Pumpkin from St. Ambrose, or an Elysian Great Pumpkin, or Warlock from from Southern Tier, just because those all have the same type of spices that you're going to get in your dessert. If it's just mainly for dinner, fuck, a Pilsner. I mean, just something, because your Thanksgiving dinner, other than the stuffing, there's not much flavor in the Thanksgiving dinner other than the stuffing and the gravy, so a Pilsner would work. Who's next? Elliot, my favorite place to drink. I hate having giant fucking fingers. My question for you is, what has been your favorite or most improved brewery overall this year? Any brews or combination of brews that you have been really surprised with? Most improved overall, I'd go Trafalgar, straight up. Trafalgar Ales and Meads. Yeah, their Schwartzy Espresso and their Schwartzy are amazing. Their Big Hef is pretty good. Kodiak was good. The Wet Hop Ale this year was pretty good. They, in my opinion, have been a hugely improved brewery. Yeah. Any other brews that I'm surprised with? You know what? Waterloo's smoked applewood Rogan beer. I was super surprised with that because it was actually going back to having a craft beer taste. I did not expect that. What is the best beer that you have tested that is available in the States? From BJ Wilson. Best beer that I have tested that's available in the States? Probably Firestone Walker's Parabola, or Bourbon County Stout from Goose Island. Bourbon County Coffee Brand Stout is even better. What else do we have here? From Kevin, can you present yourself? Like, what is your favorite sport? What movies you like? What kind of book you are reading? What you like on TV? What's the thing you hate them? This sounds like you're trying to do a dating video with me, good sir. But to answer Kevin's question, a lot of this was said before in different videos, but so that you don't have to go back and look at them all. My favorite sport to watch on TV, probably a mixture of rugby and hockey. I played rugby, I played football, I was a Canadian champion wrestler, so those are the sports that I like to participate in, but to watch hockey and rugby, sometimes Aussie rules football. Favorite movies? Well, I'm going to be doing a video of the movie shelf over here, and the movie shelf beside me has a couple thousand movies on it, and yeah, well, all in all, I own a couple thousand movies. The shelf probably has about 1,500. And a lot of them are zombie movies. I love horror. I love zombies. B-rated horror, to be specific, like Dead Sushi, Rubber. Fuck. It's just stupid, the amount of movies I own. And this shelf is a mixture of mine and my wife's, with a few of our kids mixed in. Most of the kid movies are upstairs. So that's another, like, 200 movies. All the Disney movies and all that went upstairs. What I like to watch on TV. Sorry, one second here. I gotta get back down to that question because I stopped looking at this, and you know, stupid tablets, once you stop looking at them, they turn off. What I like to watch on TV, a lot of sci-fi actually. I was a big fan of Babylon 5. I was a big fan of Battlestar Galactica, Rome, Spartacus, Walking Dead. I did not really like Fear the Walking Dead. I didn't like it at all until the last episode of the season, and the first 5 episodes were just so slow that I didn't want to even watch the 6th episode, but I was going to give it a chance. Other than those, I'm also a big fan of the Game of Thrones. Yeah, a lot of HBO stuff, a lot of sci-fi. I'm just trying to think of what's even on my right below me is my movie. Well, I have that video. I have all my TV series, my Rhinos collections up. And what do I like to read again? Fantasy a lot. The Shannara books, Lord of the Ring books, Forgotten Realms. I read a lot of that. I also like crime stuff. In Cold Blood, for instance, from Truman Capote. Really good book. What's the thing I hate the most? Yeah, money is the thing I hate the most. So, from fucking Fat Finger's always going to... No, I don't. I want to hit the more. From Winter is Coming. What are 3 American beers that are currently unavailable in Ontario that you wish the LCBO would distribute? Are these realistic choices that you could see on our shelves in the foreseeable future? Number 1 would probably be Bourbon County Stout. Any variant of Bourbon County Stout from Goose Island. Is it realistic? Well, now that Goose Island has finally made it into Canada, they've got around the Amsterdam problem, and the Amsterdam problem is that Amsterdam had trademarked Goose Island. Yeah, it's feasible now. They make enough of it, and now that they have some Goose Island products in Canada, it's feasible. Next would probably be anything at all from Firestone Walker. I love Firestone Walker. Is it feasible? As of right now, no, because Firestone and Walker are both trademarked by Amsterdam Brewing. But if something with that is changed, yeah, it's very feasible because they have Duvel now owning them, and Duvel has the distribution network to get them into Canada. Another beer I'd like to see in Canada, and is foreseeable, of an American brewery. You know what? Again, anything from Weyerbacher. I love Weyerbacher beers. They're very underrated. They're cheap in the U.S. and they're very, very, very good. So I'd love to see anything there. Foreseeable future, is it realistic? I don't know. I don't know what the laws are in Pennsylvania for exporting. I don't know what their distribution network is like. I don't know how big they are. But they are in New York State, and they're right across the border in New York State, so it's feasible that they could get just a little further. And their labels well, a few of their labels wouldn't be able to be okayed by the Ontario government, but most of their labels are worthwhile and workable. Any other questions? My question to you is, why are the majority of bougie is a term that I use for fancy budget beers. Well, bougie being like craft brews, so big money beers that are basically budget beers. They taste just like budget beers. Supermarket beers, lagers, or pilsners. And if you don't like these styles, what other supermarket choices do you have? Mostly referring to Erie and UK here, but Canada also. I don't know anything about Erie or the UK, but in Canada, yeah, a lot of our bougie beers are usually pilsners and lagers, and that's mostly because those are the beers that are the lowest common denominator beer, and it's not trying to be mean, but I mean, they are the beers that are the most vastly able to be acquired and drank and appreciated by the most majority of people. There are some, what I call Ontario Pale Ales here in Ontario, which is basically like our bougie pale ale. They all have the same flavor. They're all very approachable. There's nothing wrong with them. They're good. They're just all quite a lot alike. There is also, well, you can get from something like PC Brewing, Whitewater Brewing, which is, it's all done at the brick. But PC has a black lager and a IPA on its list of budget beers, and you can get those at most beer stores. And they're pretty damn good. They are. I can't say they're not. And the only other question is nothing. Other than Ethan saying he makes his own beard oil and he can send me some. Sure, send me some beard oil. I've never used beard oil. I can make little things with my beard. Yeah, so there's my question and my answers to yours. Let's get together soon. And just a reminder, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern is Beard Dweebs United, and on Beard Dweebs United tonight will be Nicole Rennie from Innocent Gun Canada to answer all of our questions about Innocent Gun and doing business in Canada and across all the provinces and the differences in the provinces. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye. There's a thing in front of my stop button.